Well, the likelihood of a quick and easy trade deal between the world's two largest economies retreating just a little after US President Donald Trump expressed frustration with China. The American leader, in a Truth Social post, showed appreciation for Chinese President Xi Jinping, but stressed that Mr. Xi was, quote, very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with. The US president earlier accused Beijing of violating an agreement reached in mid-May to roll back tariffs and trade restrictions. The White House this week suggested Mr. Trump would speak with the Chinese leader in the coming days, although Beijing has yet to confirm if such a call has been arranged. China was hit by levies up to 145% as part of the Trump administration's tariff blitz. Beijing retaliated with a 125% levy on American goods. Both agreed to temporarily de-escalate last month after the US president delayed most of the sweeping measures slapped on other countries until the 9th of July. And more, Kate Fisher joins us live from Washington, D.C. Kate, what does Mr. Trump's assessment of Mr. Xi as being tough to make a deal with, what could that mean for any phone call that would take place between these two leaders?
I think it is kind of trying to ratchet up the pressure here, trying to perhaps, make the Chinese aware of how important this call is to the US. Is it perhaps Donald Trump trying to goad the Chinese leader into speaking with him? I think certainly analysts here are suggesting that, speaking to sources within the White House, that the Trump administration is becoming increasingly keen for this call to happen, yet the Chinese still haven't agreed to it. You heard the White House press secretary talking about the likelihood of it happening, but we've heard nothing from Beijing to confirm that it is. So clearly, I think the Trump administration needs the call to happen. Donald Trump likes to do diplomacy himself. He likes to be speaking to people directly. And also part of that message, he complimented Xi. He said he's always liked him. Again, perhaps trying to persuade the Chinese leader to agree to this call that certainly publicly they haven't done yet. And, pressure is increasing on Donald Trump. He wants those critical minerals coming back from China into the US, and he wants to show some kind of win to the American people for his tariff trade policy.
All right, a great deal of this posturing as well as rhetoric on social media sites, part of perhaps Mr. Trump's tactics in terms of getting the best deal. We've seen today taking effect a doubling of tariffs on steel and aluminium, today also coinciding with a deadline for other countries that are not China to give their best offer to avoid reciprocal tariffs that would otherwise be slapped on them later. The coincidence of all these different deadlines and announcements, what effect might that have on Mr. Trump deciding on whether or not to grant any reprieve or concessions for reciprocal tariffs on these other countries that are not China?
Yeah, well, it's all part of the kind of pressure campaign, I think. He's doubling up the steel and aluminium tariffs. That's really rankled many of the US's allies who have steel and aluminium industries that are going to be sorely affected by this. It puts pressure on them to try to give more concessions to the US government, to try to get some kind of trade deal for their countries. And it's also, though, an alarm call for businesses by increasing taxes on these important materials for factories and manufacturing. It is going to raise costs of manufacturing in all these countries, and that is a huge concern for businesses. Economists suggest that even though Donald Trump is trying to do this to improve the US economy, in fact, the result will be to make things worse, because although it may help the steel and aluminium industry, certainly in the short term, all those businesses that rely on those key metals are going to have to raise their prices. And long term, it's actually going to affect more people negatively because there are more businesses that use that than just the steel and aluminium industries themselves.
Oh, thanks for that. Kate Fisher there reporting live from Washington, D.C.